Hi, my name is Patrick Regan. Welcome to the Operating Systems Linux, where we cover how to install, manage, and use the Linux operating system. In Part 12, we get into more advanced topics for Linux A+ topics, where we discuss using Samba and NFS to share files and add a Linux computer to Active Directory. While the most you will get asked from this video is what is Samba and NFS and what is it used for, this will give you an introduction to supporting Linux in an enterprise environment. If you have not already, subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel. Samba is an open source implementation of the Server Message Block, or SMB, and Common Internet File System, or CIFS, protocols that provide file and print services between clients across various operating systems. SMB is the most commonly used file sharing protocol. While it may be associated with Windows, SMB can be used with Linux and Apple computers to share and access files and is often used with network-attached storage, or NAS. The name Samba is a wordplay on SMB. Server Message Block, or SMB, is a network protocol that allows Windows networks to share files and printers. The more common versions of SMB include SMB version 1, which was the initial release of SMB, originally designed to run over NetBIOS over IPX/SPX and NetBIOS over TCP/IP. At one time, Windows shared folders were sometimes referred to as the Common Internet File System, or CIFS, which was based on SMB 1.0. SMB 1 is considered insecure, has been deprecated by Microsoft, and is not installed on the modern versions of Windows by default. SMB version 2 is less chatty compared to SMB 1 protocol and introduces pipelining to improve performance over high latency links. SMB version 3 improved performance over SMB version 2, offers end-to-end data encryption and protects data from eavesdropping, and helps against man-in-the-middle or MTM attacks. SMB version 3.1.1 is the latest version released with Windows 10 that includes stronger encryption such as AES 256, pre-authentication integrity, SSH 512 hash to improve data integrity validation, more efficient data transfers, and reduced latency. To install Samba, you should first make sure to use the following command to download and refresh the local package index and to provide with the most recent information about available packages from the repositories. Sudo apt update. You would then run the following commands to actually install Samba. Sudo apt install Samba. To share a folder, you would create a directory to share, such as mkdir/home/user1/samba share. To configure Samba, you would modify the /etc/samba/smb.conf file by running the following command using nano. Sudo nano/etc/samba/smb.conf. Then add the following text at the bottom of the file. The shared folder starts with the share name surrounded by brackets. The path command specifies the location of the shared folder. As you can see, you can also make the shared folder read-only or browsable. Starting with Samba 4.11, Samba uses SMB2 as the default minimum protocol. If you want to force it to use SMB3, you would add the following entry to the global section of the smb.conf file. Client min protocol equals SMB3. The global section is designated with an open and closed bracket. If you want to force it to use SMB 3.1.1, you would add client min protocol equals SMB3_11. If you want to create a public folder that can be accessed as a guest, you would create a folder and then add the shared section. In this case, the shared folder is going to be called guest share. You would then use the public equals yes command and guest equals yes. If you want the shared folder to be writable instead of read-only, you should use writable equals yes. To connect to an SMB shared folder, you would open GNOME's files, click Other Locations. In the Enter Server Address box, type in smb:// server name / share name, or smb / IP address / share name. On the screen, you'll find two examples. When you're prompted to authentication, you can specify anonymous or registered user. Registered users can forget password immediately, remember password until you log out, and remember forever. To mount the SMB folder to the Linux file system, you can use the following steps. If necessary, install the sys/utils by using the following command: sudo apt install sys-utils. To create a directory that will act as a mount point, such as sudo mkdir/mnt/mysmb. To see the available shared folders you would use, smb client -L, the server name -u, username. Then to mount the SMB to the mount folder, you would use sudo mount -t sys-o username equals user / smb server address /share name /mnt/mysmb. You will be prompted to provide a password. If you want the SMB folder to be automatically mounted during boot, you will have to modify the /etc/fs tab file. / smb server address /share name /mnt/mysmb sys user equals user, pass equals password 00. A network file system, or NFS, is a distributed file system protocol that allows you to share remote directories over a network. It allows remote hosts to mount file systems over a network and interact with those file systems as though they are mounted locally. This enables system administrators to consolidate resources onto centralized servers on the network. Installing NFS client on Ubuntu and Debian, you would run sudo apt update and sudo apt install nfs-common. To install NFS client on CentOS and Fedora, you would use sudo yum install nfs-utils. Similar to SMB, create a directory to serve as the mount point for the remote NFS share. Sudo mkdir/var/backups. Mount point is a directory on the local machine where the NFS share is to be mounted by using the mount command. Sudo mount -t nfs 10.10.0.10:/backups /var/backups, where 10.10.0.10 is the IP address of the NFS server. /backup is the directory that the server is exporting, and /var/backups is the local mount point. To verify that the remote NFS volume is successfully mounted, use either the mount or df-h command. To connect to an NFS shared folder, you would open Files and click Other Locations. In the Enter Server Address box, type nfs:// server name /path or nfs:// IP address /path. Two examples are shown on the screen. During the installation process, you could have added the system to an Active Directory domain. However, you can still add the system after installation. You can also configure Ubuntu and other Linux distros to support logging into Active Directory as an Active Directory user. To add an Ubuntu Linux machine to the domain, you would have to use the following steps. To install the necessary components, run the following command: sudo apt install sssd-ad space ssd-tools space realmd space adcli. The System Security Services Daemon, or SSSD, is a system service that manages user authentication, sets initial security policies, and gives access to remote directories. To verify that the domain is discoverable via DNS, use sudo realm-v discover domain1.rootdomain.com. To join the domain, execute sudo realm join domain1.rootdomain.com. Question: which of the following allows a Linux computer to access Windows shared folders? Answer: Samba. Question: which of the following is associated with Linux and Unix to share files with other systems? Answer: NFS. Question: what protocol is Samba based on? Answer: SMB. For more information, visit these sites. In summary, Samba is an open source implementation of the Server Message Block, or SMB, and Common Internet File Systems, or CIFS protocols that provides file and print services between clients across various operating systems. Server Message Block, or SMB, is a network protocol that allows Windows networks to share files and printers. To configure Samba, you will modify the /etc/samba/smb.conf file. A network file system, or NFS, is a distributed file system protocol that allows you to share remote directories over a network. Thank you for watching this video. The next video will be Operating Systems, Linux, Part 13, Managing Printers and Other Devices. If you're not already, don't forget to subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel. Thank you.